Hello and welcome to Algebra 2. I am making this video because throughout the year there will be videos that are assigned to the students in Algebra 2, and I just wanted to show them and show you kind of what they look like and what to do with them, and also just talk about the syllabus. So the syllabus you can see right here. I also have a paper copy that I sent home. If you want to email me that you read it, or if you just want to sign it, return it, either way is okay with me. All right, so throughout this course we have videos, and what the purpose of these videos is to take some of the learning that comes in the classroom, things like definitions and some examples that don't really require my expertise, to be done outside of the classroom. That way, if students have questions or I can do certain things to help them out, in class we can work on some more difficult problems, some more in-depth questions, some things that are not as easy to do at home by yourself. So we're kind of trying, it's called a flip classroom. We're trying to flip the classroom. We're trying to flip the learning from things that you don't need me for, just be able to watch a video and take notes, and then come to class and we get to talk about, explain it, and do some higher level thinking in class. So that is the rationale for what we're doing. So what your student should do is, while we're going through the video, they should take notes, write anything down that they think is important. If they have questions, question mark it, write a question on there, and then when they come back to class, we talk about any questions they have. We might go through the answers, we'll go through what we need to do to make sure everyone knows what's happening, and then we'll start the lesson in class. So that's kind of what a video looks like. I will show you one, and just kind of what it looks like real quick. Here is, I just went right to YouTube, and then if you hit play, you can see.
And now we're going to talk about a specific type of polynomial called quadratics. Okay, so in lesson
So I'm not going to go through all of those quadratics, but the nice thing is, if you ever say, I'm going too fast and you need to stop and rewind it, you can always just go right back. Or you can skip it if you say, I already know this, we already talked about it somewhere else. So you can rewind, you can say, hey, Mr. Redmond, I don't understand it, as many times as you need to until you can make sense of the material. And if it still doesn't quite make sense, because for whatever reason, I'm always going to be in class to always help you out the next day. All right. So we can go through the syllabus here real quick. I am here at school, usually Mondays and Wednesdays, 3:15 to 4:15, and there are before school and after school homework help. Before school it's called Jumpstart, and after school it's called SAS. Okay, so the things that they need: their textbook, binder, pens and pencils, notebook, loose leaf paper, whatever. Calculator. Graphing is preferred. We do have graphing calculators that the students can use, so if you don't feel like you want to buy one, we have them here at school that we can use during class. And when they get home, they can go to Desmos, which is a online free graphing calculator. You can type in all sorts of things that you would like to, y equals mx plus b, and you can do all sorts of fun activities with the graphing calculator. And also it's an app on your phone that is also free for download. So if you are kind of worried about buying a $100 to $150 calculator, you don't have to. We have them in class, and we also have Desmos, so if you're not sure if you want to buy one, you don't have to. All right, we have some discipline. If the student's caught doing poor behavior, then there'll be a warning. They'll be sent to the hallway, and then we'll call home, and then we'll get a detention. If it still continues, we get a referral, and then we'll have to call the parent if we get that far. Cheating, if any student's caught cheating, they get a 0, and no makeups are allowed. The tardy policy, if they get tardy, verbal warning, gradebook, that kind of stuff. It gets real bad, we might be having to spend a little extra time in after school or something like that, but I hope not to get past this 4th tardy where it just gets a PBIS minor infraction. If the student is absent for whatever reason, they are responsible to make sure that they get the material. They can't come to me and say, well, I wasn't there 3 days ago and now it's due. Well, you are old enough now, you should be able to know what you missed or be able to find it from someone else. They can't ask me, or it's probably faster and easier to ask a friend in class, but I'm always there to help them out. They do have, for every 1 day of school that they miss, they have an extra day to return it, to return and do any makeup work. For example, if they're absent on Tuesday, they have until Thursday to make up the work they missed. So every day that they're gone, they have 1 day to make it up. All right, the grading scale is 60% tests and projects, 30% quizzes and in-class discussions, and 10% is homework and entry or exit slips. Okay, now this is the big thing that I want to make sure everyone knows about, because I sometimes hear from parents that they didn't know that this was happening, probably because they get a lot of syllabuses and it's kind of hard to read through every single one. But if your son or daughter scores poorly on a test, And if they come to see me on either Mondays or Wednesdays after school or sometimes before school, we can work together to correct it. After we correct it, they retake a different version of the test or quiz, and then they get the new score. All test corrections must be completed by 2 weeks after the test, unless approved by me. The only time that's not the case is if it's the end of the quarter and I have to get the grades in. And all quizzes must be corrected by the unit test. So if they want to do that, if they want to increase their grade, they can. 2 weeks sometimes gets to be kind of a short window, so I would hope that they would try to do better on the test than they would on the makeup, because it's easier to do it once than come back and do a lot of extra work and then retake it. But it is there in case they need it. We will be covering in this class problem solving with algebra, then moving on to sequences. Unit 3 is describing data, linear models and systems. Unit 5, functions, relationships, and transformations. Unit 6 is exponents, powers, and logarithms. Unit 7 is matrices and linear systems. Unit 8, quadratics and other polynomials. Unit 9 is conic sections and rational functions. Unit 10, data statistics and probability. Unit 11 is series, and Unit 12 is trig, ratios, and functions. That is up for... It kind of depends on how everything goes and how much time we have and how much time we need to spend on each section. We may get to all those, we may get to more, we may not get to all of them. So it all depends. Okay, so at the end, your student should sign and you should sign, and then you can hand this back into me, and then you can email me, or you can email me if you think that's easier, either one. And then, are there any concerns you have for the upcoming year that I should know about? If you want to write this in, give it to me. If you want to email me, that's fine. Is there anything that I need to know? All right, so that is really how the videos work. If you notice, it's been about 5 or 6 minutes, and videos should be about 15 minutes or less. 15 minutes is usually the most that I'm going to make one video. So there you go. If you have questions, please feel free to email me at anthony.bartman@d426.org. I look forward to a great school year, and if you see me any other time on your student's phone or computer or anything like that, it's probably because they're watching a video for my class.